Alex and Fergus, welcome to Australian Musician.
Thanks for having us.
New album, After Hours, Close to Dawn. Why the title?
Japanese dinner is when we always go for a Japanese dinner when we need to make a decision.
A business decision.
A business decision.
Because the Japanese are good at business.
And nice tax deductible feed. And so we were sort of late in naming the album. We'd been through heaps of different titles and nothing stuck. So we sat down and had Japanese, and it's in the lyric of Creeping, which Alex wrote. Where's the lyric come from?
It's somehow translated subconsciously by the fact that Ferg and I generally are, I'd say this is a fair assessment, our most creative in the witching hour, which lies somewhere between the after hours, mid-morning, just before dawn time of life, would you not say? So it was appropriate that a lot of the music and the creativity that spurred this new sort of direction in this album occurred in this specific time. So I guess it worked itself into the bridge of Creeping, and then sort of shone. Someone just, I think maybe Jay just said it, because we were kind of going like, how do we use something that references the sentiment of the album but encapsulates the whole thing? And someone said that, and we were like, that makes sense. Like it kind of. It's
kind of that. Why haven't we thought of this before?
Yeah. Coming out of Microscopic Wars and into this album, was there a discussion about the kind of album you wanted to make?
No, our directive was we have to make the best album of all time. That's all we used to say to each other.
I think the discussions you were sort of leading towards did happen, but they were sort of reactive to, once a few demos were done and we knew that it was different, then it was like, well, this is going to be different, so is that okay, and should we keep going down this path? And the discussions were always very quick, and the answer was always yes, kind of thing. So I mean, we talked about it at times, but it kind of spurred us on. When you tell a kid not to steal food from the cupboard, and it just makes him want to do it more.
How many children have you instructed not to steal food?
So many.
Why are there these kids just hanging around who steal food?
At the orphanage, they always steal food from the cupboard. They know where I keep it.
They just don't listen to them.
Those orphans.
It was a bad analogy.
It's
like when you tell Alex,
orphans are
who's
synonymous
a child. It's like when you tell Alex
with criminality.
Like,
why are orphans criminals? Why can't it be a privileged?
Why are you making them criminals all of a sudden?
Because you said at the orphanage they're always stealing. Why are the orphans stealing?
A couple of them are real rat bags. They're your favourites.
You're showing your orphan.
It's like when you tell Alex, "Can you please hurry up? We need to leave," and it makes him take longer. It's like a rebellious.
Orphans aren't thieves.
Anyway, I think everyone understands what we were getting at.
Yeah.
What was the question?
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Nashville. Why did you go there? Is that just a case of the rock star thing that you wanted a free trip to America? Or?
Not free.
We paid for it.
Yeah.
We went because Ed, who was the assistant on our first record, lives there and emigrated from England, and is the person we love making music with, who we think best captures us, and is equally as creative in the engineering world, and immensely talented. So it's like wherever Ed is, we'll go.
I don't think we even had a discussion about should Ed do the next record, considering we'd already done it with Vance and Ed was the assistant. It was just over time and over discussions, and it was just like, all right, well, when's he free? It kind of just happened. It was always going to be him.
The thing that strikes me about this album is the use of the guitars. There's not a lot of traditional guitar tones or guitar solos. The guitars are sort of used more texturally.
Yeah.
Was that a conscious thing right from the start, or did that just emerge?
It's because I broke my pinky about 6 weeks before we went to record, so I couldn't really play.
It's very possible that if Al didn't break his finger and couldn't play guitar, the album would be
Vastly different.
very different. Because he couldn't play instruments. I'm paraphrasing you.
Yeah, no, this is true.
But he had to write songs in his head.
I'd
So-
kind of hear them and just sit there with a book, and then I'd like listen for melodies and all this sort of stuff. And it was really, really. I think it's probably the way I'll always write music now, as opposed to like repetitive motor function. Oh, this is what my hand knows to do, kind of thing, you know. Having said that, we put a couple of guitar solos in there. Creepin's got a guitar solo. Golden's got a guitar solo.
Yeah. Is that all?
A bit of a solo in the bell, but not
That's-
really.
that's not-
Still
that's-
texturally.
It's
So-
reversed.
right.
It's reversed.
Did you explore effect pedals more than what you normally would have because of that?
No, probably less.
Yeah.
It was more like studio gear.
It was more gear and old keyboards and synths and new synths and a lot of Mellotron and a lot of piano, a lot of Rhodes, a lot of keys.
Tell them about the Reds.
The red pre's, essentially the guitar sound was two red EMI pre's that essentially the same the pre's that the Beatles used for the Revolution sound, which is then you run one into the other to just blow out the tone, and we thought that sounded so good we just used that sound for almost every guitar sound into various degrees of distortion, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah. What were your main guitars that you used?
Mostly my Strat and my 330. Gibson 330, a hollow body, kind of like a John Lennon Casino style thing, but the Gibson version.
Yeah.
Just nothing crazy. Really beautiful Martin for an acoustic piece that we did,
The
like a 50s D28. It's beautiful.
we have this $200. Well, it's worth about that. Now it's worth millions.
Yeah, it's worth squillions.
Firebird. What's it called?
Epiphone Thunderbird.
Epiphone Thunderbird.
It's terrible. It's the action's
It's
bad.
so hard to play,
The neck's warped. The jack's dodgy. Everything is like.
but it sounds so good. And
It's
it was
incredible.
kind of
We took it to Nashville specifically.
yeah.
It's like the bass you hear on a majority of the record. It's just there's something magic about it. So that's a peculiar one.
Yeah. This track, Like Your Mother, which is the full-on
Red Pre's.
rocking song.
That's the Red
on
Pre's
album.
again.
It has a real lo-fi vibe to it. There's
Yeah.
not a lot of bottom end.
No,
Very distorted.
that's really great that you picked that.
bass.
That's a very conscious decision.
Yeah.
Would you like? Is your next question why?
Why? Yeah.
The Kinks.
Yeah.
We wanted to make something that sounded like an old jangly Kinks record where, I don't know whether it was their manager, I think their manager used to walk into their sessions and be like, why aren't the meters in the red? And just push everything and be like, that's what the Kinks sound like.
The track Atmosphere's got some pretty cool stuff happening in the background. What's going on there?
a lot.
There's a lot.
Do you remember how many percussive channels there are?
They're probably...
It got to the point while
There are about
counting.
maybe 14 rhythmic percussive tracks that are like... what
Some
are
of them meant to be jokes. So we started doing layers and layers of percussive tracks that, build into the song, and then we're like, oh, how far can we take it? So we'd send in a bowl of chips, just swivel.
Like a big bowl of tortillas.
That's on
to
the
get like
record.
a stapler clicking.
Stapler clicker. Did that
Like-
make it?
Yeah.
Really?
Almost everything made it except the shoes.
Except the shoes. The last one was, can you play the drums with the shoes? Dum, dum. Then I think
We're like,
you
lost
realised
it.
at that point that it was a joke.
But everything else made it. It's this incredible pastiche of weird like there is conventional percussion, and then there are probably like 8 or 9 tracks of objects that were in the room.
And this song's all about that kind of the layering and building up of percussive elements and instruments, because melodically it's very one-dimensional. The bass is pretty much the same the whole song.
Yeah, well, the idea was there is a certain hypnotic element that's like soothing, and kind of the arrangement of the song is really weird because it goes verse, chorus, double chorus, triple verse, triple chorus. And
it's kind of
just
the concept song from the beginning. We like.
To try and make something set up a challenge of like, well, how do you keep interest if you're just returning to the same two ideas? And I think we achieved it. But that's why it's sort of it's not conventional, and it's in anything about it, sort of the experience of the song feels unique to me.
Why did you decide to begin the album with a single glockenspiel note?
We wanted it to feel like an alarm or an alert, like at an airport or something, that, you know, when you hear a cadence or an interval, it's usually some sort of glockenspiel type or bell type sound. You know, you've heard it a million times, like ding ding ding, and then there's an announcement. So I guess we were saying this album is an announcement musically, and for that reason, it's like I mean, the fact that we're talking about it, I think, is probably we achieved what we wanted.
The track Alabama White, I believe there's quite a story to the vocal takes on that one.
Yeah, I've never been more angry in my life. We did a lot of weird things to try and capture the right emotion of us in the song. That was one of the biggest things that we did and pushed ourselves, is to try and do vocal takes that were real and didn't just sound perfect and were great. You know, there's a lot of mistakes, and there's a lot of the best vocal takes are often the one that isn't just the clean, perfect line. With Alabama White, they had me, this is Eddie and Alex, on a mattress in a sleeping bag with cinder blocks on my chest.
Immobile.
So I was like stuck, and this is after a while. It built up to this. First,
That was probably hours.
I tried standing up, and then they decided to go down this path, and it was like, oh, I'll do it lying down, and then, oh, you can't move your arms. But it ended up with like the lights flicking on and off.
It's probably a bit extreme.
And I was just like so angry, and on top of that, they were telling me that, oh, we're not really getting it. You know, it's not working.
Ferg's most hated thing is to abandon something when he thinks he's getting somewhere. So
and they were like, at the very end of it, after they'd got the song, they were like, oh, I think we're just gonna come back tomorrow and try something else, man. Like hours of me being
no, it was like we said, let's just call it, man. Let's just call it a day. And he was furious, absolutely furious.
Yeah.
By this stage, the only reason we did that is because we'd gotten these amazing takes from him, and it's like you don't know whether you should, like, you know, where's the straw that breaks the, you know, camel's back. It's like, do we keep going and he might even get even better, or do we? And we decided to push it every time we'd say something. Like, we'd have to coax each other into saying something horrible, not horrible, but just trying to like transfer, you know, a slight like this sense of abandonment, that there was no hope, and like it was terrible. It was one of the worst things we've done, but resulted in the best takes.
Yeah. Having recorded these songs and looking to play them live, will you be looking to add the textural elements or strip them back and they become something else?
No, we're definitely adding, and it's resulted in this illness that I currently have. It's like hours and hours and hours of late nights and planning and creating and organising, and
I'd say it's going to be more time spent getting this live show ready than recording the album.
We've tripled the time that we spent on the album trying to make it happen live, and organising horn players and singers and working out who's playing what. Ferg's playing keys and guitars and Celeste and percussion, and everyone's, I'm playing piano and guitar, and we've got another piano and guitarist, and bass player is playing two synthesizers and playing bass, and it's an intricate dance now of like instrument swapping, but it's still feeling seamless, and everyone's still in their kind of position, so it's quite tricky.
Yeah, so everything's still being played?
For a majority of it, Yeah, there is some additional sort of sampling sort of based stuff, but it's all triggered as well. You know, so it's like it is essentially being played.
The album comes out, and then you've got a March till April tour. What happens for the rest of the year then?
If we don't get development in other territories that we're looking for, then we'll go straight into the next album. But otherwise, we'll tour as much as we can overseas and come back and do a second round probably for this album once it's sat with people and resonated, and can maybe do another run. And
What we are already talking about doing another record soon. When that will be, I don't know, but
hopefully this time next year.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for your time.
Thanks,
Thank
Greg.
you, Greg.
Thank you.
Cheers.